What is going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all of you beautiful, beautiful people. I hope everyone, as always, is having a fantastic day. Let me let a few people start trickling in. Guys, let everyone know that we are in this beach. Go ahead and send out the information to say we are live. Let everyone know, guys. It's Saturday. We're here just to have a little hangout sesh today, talking about PulseChain, to looking at the HEX price. Hope all of y'all were able to scoop up some of this amazing HEX price as well. I know I had some limit orders get filled, so let's go, baby. But that's the benefit of limit orders, right? And I got more that goes down as well. So if the price wants to continue dropping, I'm gonna keep on scooping that up too. So let's go, baby. But I hope everyone, as always, is having a fantastic day. Let me see what's going on with everyone real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, don't need to worry about that so much. All right. All right. Too funny. Awesome. Awesome. Well, guys, hope everyone, as always, is having a fantastic day, man. Let me just retweet this out myself and say that we are live, happening right now. I think it's already gonna be on my profile, so let's just see. Take a little gander. Bam, look at that. Retweet. Come and join for the fun. HEX, Pulse, and PulseX. All right. Let me actually share out the YouTube link too. View, mute, and all right. But yeah, guys, if y'all got any questions or anything like that in the meantime, feel free to start putting them in the chat. If you got questions as well, I do read all of the comments. So if y'all want to, feel free to leave a comment as well. I'm happy to check that out later on. And I always get back to them. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that everyone has all their questions answered. So if y'all do have anything that comes up along the way, then I hopefully can help clarify some items for anyone who may be in this crazy, wild world of crypto that we're in right now. So let me say what's up to everyone real fast who's here. What's going on, you beautiful people? Facing reality. Hello, Hex. Academiciated Hex is and always will be the GOAT. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Facing reality says 100. Yes, sir. Crypto Jake. What's going on, you beautiful people? John Nees. What's good, everyone? What it do, Alan? How you doing, my man? Hope you had a fantastic day. It was a beautiful day today. Well, I would welcome another flash crash on Hex. Yes, sir. Watching NBA playoffs while cryptoing. There you go, my man, John Nees, chilling. What's up, Nathan? How you doing, my dude? Love the name as always. Pretty solid Saturday night. Yes, sir, sure is. Please explain where PHEX will be located. How will the airdrop work? As in where we will access it. Yeah, for sure, Hextra. So as soon as you connect your wallet that has your hex in it on the Ethereum chain onto the PulseChain network, and you switch the network from Ethereum to PulseChain, you'll automatically be able to have all of your tokens copied over, and then you just have to import them in. So I know I've kind of showed this before, but I'm always happy to help as well. So let me just kind of give you a brief example of what that looks like. Here we go. Testnet v4. There we go. Zoom out just a smidge. All right. So here you go. When you first connect onto the PulseChain network, you're going to be given essentially a tab that will allow you to see all the different things. So inside here, let me see if you can see this or not. Yeah, it doesn't pop up. Let me see if I can just do share screen. Actually, give me 1 second here. Share screen, entire screen, screen 2, bam. Okay, so when you first connect and you haven't connected to the PulseChain testnet before, for example, when you first connect to this and you connect your wallet up here in the top right corner, Let me see if I can just do that for you. All right, so we're gonna say disconnect real quick. And let me see if I can remove this as well. Don't need to worry about all that. All right, so let me connect to this one for a second, delete the other one, and I'll just kind of show you how easy it really is, because it's not that difficult at all by any means. So I just have multiple networks connected and everything as well. So that's why it's kind of doing all this right here. Did they already take down testnet v3? Does anybody know? Because I was actually looking on ispulse.live earlier, and they no longer have v3 listed on there for the RPC. It only shows v4 and mainnet. So let me know if that is in fact the case. I just kind of saw that earlier, so I thought it was interesting. Here we go. Let me just refresh this page and see if I can get this. Yeah, it looks like v3 may be already down. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, cool. So then let me do this instead. Since it wants to connect to that one, let me actually leave it back to the Ethereum mainnet for a second, and I'll just delete this other one. So now I'm going to delete that testnet v4. So now at this point in time, just pretend like this is a brand new wallet. It's never connected to PulseChain before, never connected to the testnet before. But when mainnet goes live, essentially all you're going to have to do is just scroll on over to see the connect button up in the top right corner. It's going to say, what would you like to connect with? In this case, we're going to say MetaMask. It's going to have a pop-up with all the information. The RPC is up here, app.v4.testnet.pulsex. However, it will actually have the RPC information for mainnet when it does go live. So you would just say connect at this point in time, and you would just connect. That's as simple as it is. Now, the next step you'll have to do, so you'll see allow this site to add a network. Now, in this case, this is in fact the network that we are adding, right? It is testnet, so it's 943. Mainnet will be 369 for the chain ID. And then you'll also have all this information showing pulsechain.com instead of the v4. It'll just say rpc.pulsechain.com, so on and so forth. Anyways, long story short here, you just say approve, switch networks, and now I have testnet added on. However, when again it's mainnet on here, you'll be able to do the same thing for your wallet. Now, the next step you're going to want to do is actually import tokens. So the easiest way to find the token is by actually going into the info section on PulseX, go into the token section, and just scrolling on down, you'll typically see HEX fairly quickly on this one. But this is going to be the actual information on here. You're going to click view on PulseScan, and this allows you to copy this address. This is the HEX address. Now we're going to actually add this into the wallet now. So then you would just go in back to your wallet, go to assets, scroll on down, click import tokens, copy paste that information. In this case, it's already got, it'll pull it information when the time comes, but don't worry about that. You would just paste in the contract address, and you'll actually see that it will have HEX, and I believe it's 18 here as well. But I don't have any tokens on this particular one here. Let me just make sure that was in fact the right. Here you go. Okay. Yeah, but I mean that's it's 8. Damn. Okay, cool. Let me do this again. Copied. I don't know why it's going just a little bit slow whenever I click on stuff, but we're going to click import. You're going to click Control V and type in HEX. Whoops. And my computer's just acting a little bit slow today. Interesting. And then you'll just type in 8. So long story short, again, I don't have any HEX in here. Pretty simple though. So now that the HEX is going to be in here, you would see all your HEX. Hopefully that answered the question. But that's as easy as it is. I know I kind of fumbled it along the way, but it's not too difficult for you to actually get this done and for you to make it happen. So hopefully that makes sense, Hextra. If it doesn't, feel free to reach out to me as well. I'm always happy to help provide any information or questions that I can as well. What's going on, Crypto CPT? How you doing, my man? Yeah, dude, just enjoying the afternoon, enjoying the evening. Had a beautiful, beautiful day today. As a matter of fact, it was nice and like 65 degrees in the morning, 70 degrees throughout the day. A good wind blowing all day, so got to get some vitamin D on my body today, and went to go meet up with friends who we hadn't seen in a while, and just go celebrate with them. It's always fun when you haven't seen friends in a while, when y'all are in the same situation and you're the retired ones from PulseChain, PulseX, and all the mad gains that you're going to have in crypto. It's always fun when you actually end up in those situations, because then they're always like, what do you do? And then you have to explain, I don't do anything. I'm retired. And they're like, what did you mean by that? How did you do it? And then you have to like go through the whole process. And it's so funny because when you start talking about crypto with some people, they either automatically go, wow, that's crazy. I wish I would have done that. Like they're still too late for some reason. Or you talk to other people who, yeah, I know all about Doge and Shiba and all these other ones. And yeah, yeah, what do you use, Coinbase or Binance? And you're like, bro, you're so far behind at this point in time. I feel like I want to help everyone in that scenario so much, but wrong place, wrong scenario. So I guess if y'all are in the same situation, let me know how you would respond to that type of stuff, because half the time people are like, hey, I can, I'd love to be able to get your information, love to be able to connect, learn some more information. And, granted, teaching someone how to get into crypto the right way is, I've said it before, it's about a week-long process to really get it done right. Yes, you can learn how to get it done in the beginning, but again, the good security measures, getting the money sent to the centralized exchange, moving into the self-custodial wallet, having different funds in different places, where to do this, how to do this. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I go through, and I make sure everyone has a very good understanding of how it all works. So maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But again, let me know if y'all are in the same situation. But it is always funny when you end up in either of those scenarios. Yep, Nathan, what a good name. Yep. If we either stake or provide liquidity, will we be able to add to the farms and pools without removing our positions? And if so, will APY change for each new entry into the farms or pools? John, what a good question. So to answer the beginning question, when you first provide liquidity and you move it over into a yield farm, you will no longer see that you're providing liquidity, because those LP tokens are locked up in the yield farming protocol. So you can provide some additional liquidity. You'll just get some more LP tokens. That's as simple as that is to explain that. Now, if you want to then take those tokens and actually import them into the farms, you can also do the same as well. So let's just say, for example, that you're over here, you're on farms. Well, first, let's go to liquidity, right? Let's go to add some liquidity. I got 2 tokens, so let's just do a million here, and that'll be 3.4 million there. I have to enable, because this is the first time I've actually done the farm on the test net, which is funny for V4. I was all about it on V3, but now I'm just like, let me wait, man. I'm just ready for PulseChain at this point in time. So now we're going to supply. In this scenario, confirm supply. It's going to pop up another notification. Yes, let's go ahead and confirm supply. And let's go ahead and add PLP, which is the liquidity provider token, into MetaMask. So that way it also shows up in there. I'll wait just a little bit. I'll get a little confirmation here in about 5 seconds. And then that will allow me to then move that liquidity over into the yield farming scenario. Now I'm going to do this to kind of show you exactly how it all works. Once I receive it, there you go. So I just saw the million taken off there and the 3 million taken off there. So pretty easy. Now I have these farms. I can go into the farm. Now I know this is a PulseX liquidity pair pool. I'll need to enable this particular farm as well. Now there's a ton of different farms in here, folks. So like get ready, because you're about to have a whole lot of choices. And the idea is that you can take the PLP tokens and put them in any of these things here. So look at 3,200. Let's just do that one for fun, right? But you would just take the PLP tokens. Again, I'm just going to say use default just to keep it simple. And normally you can limit the amount you want, but if you know you're going to be providing liquidity and that kind of stuff, sometimes using default is easier. But now that I've enabled it, I can go ahead and actually stake it here in just a second once that transaction goes through. And then once I actually stake it, I can then go back and provide some more liquidity. So at this point in time, okay, so it does have me do that one. So I'll do this one. Cool. I was wondering if it would do it just because of the PLP tokens. And I was like, is it going to have me do it based on that? So let's just see. I should have some tokens based on what I just did a second ago. Oh, it's still pending. Okay, cool. That's one I just did. PLP. Yeah, I do have some. Cool. Let's just see real fast while we're waiting on this to finish loading up and do what it does, right? So here we go. Scoot this over. And now, cool. So I can then stake my LP tokens here. I'll just say max. Go ahead and confirm. That's some good ROI right there. Nice, nice, nice. And let's just say confirm again. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to do this on mainnet, helping everyone go through the steps. And I'll show you all as many times as almost needed, because this is kind of one of those tricky scenarios where sometimes people are going to forget and make the mistakes. So now at this point in time, that LP is being staked. The APR is at 371. So the APR is, to answer the question, will APY change for each new entry into the farms or pools? No. However, it'll start allocating what it is when the time comes. So the more people that go into that particular pool and farm, the lower the APR is going to be, right? And so if you put more of a position into it and more people also get into it, then the lower the APR is going to be. It's not because necessarily you did something crazy there. So long story short, have that liquidity done. And once I actually go back into my liquidity positions, you'll see I no longer have liquidity, right? Even though y'all just saw me add liquidity, those LP tokens are now allocated to the yield farm. So we'll just do another million, for example, supply, confirm supply. We'll just say yes once again. And at this point in time, it's going to go ahead and add in this LP position. So now I will have even more LP tokens, and I can either leave these LP tokens as they are. I can go back in and put them into the yield farm to earn some additional fees. But this is a beautiful thing about this the entire time. So as things are getting traded, you're actually earning some fees if you are providing the liquidity inside that pool right there. So once that's all said and done, I just saw that go down once again to 14 million. So I already know it's done. I can click on liquidity. You can see I have liquidity position here. I can go back into the farm. And whenever I go back into the farm, I can just go back. So I've already started to earn some at this point in time. I don't have enough to harvest, I don't believe. But when you add more LP or more into, or if you take it out, if you ever add or remove, it'll automatically harvest. Okay. So in this scenario, let's just say I'm going to add. We'll just click max, say confirm once again. And you're going to notice that the harvest is actually going to go back down to $0 because it's going to harvest the incentive token as well for me doing this. Just FYI when you end up doing it. So if you see this number go down to 0, that doesn't mean you lost it. See that number just went down to 0 right there, or 33 cents, I guess, because I've added some more. So keep that in mind. It will automatically harvest anytime you add or remove LP inside a yield farm. So that way you're not wondering like, man, what the heck just happened? I just lost all the incentive tokens. No, you did not lose them. They just simply went inside your assets. And again, you would have to import the token. Easy way to do that. Go back into the exchange. Go ahead and click on one that you didn't have. In this case, incentive, add it in that way. So I think they're going to go through and make this a little easier. But now that I've added that inside MetaMask, well, you'll now see that I have the incentive token inside there, and I have 0.00015 because it harvested that token. So hopefully that answered the question as well for you, John. What up, Crypto Class? How you doing, my lady? That's such a cool pick. I'd say lady because it's got a lady, but that's a cool pick. What up? What up? What up? How you doing? What is up, love? Cryptic Life. What's up, folks? How you doing, my dude? 90s this weekend in Northern California. God damn, sheesh. That's pretty crazy, not gonna lie. To hear Cali at that temperature right there, that's some pretty wild temperature right there. All right, so let's just kind of talk real quick and go into the details, into the juice. You know what I mean? Let's have some fun today. And I hope everyone, as always, is having a fantastic day, right? So we had our man Richard Hart come through, as always, like he does, saying, I hope PulseChain surprises people like Hex did. And god damn, does that sound good, man? Like that just if that like that just sounds good. So then everyone, the next question is, why is the price of Hex dipping? Right. So there's a couple of reasons, and sometimes it's like Occam's razor. You know what I mean? The most obvious answer is sometimes the actual answer, right? And the most obvious answer in this scenario is the fact that you're getting everything duplicated. So you don't necessarily have to, if you want to have 100% of something, you could technically sell 50% of that asset knowing it's getting duplicated. Those are the same people that could also have the mindset that the positions are going to have parity on both sides. So it'll be 5 cents over here, it'll be 5 cents over here. And essentially that is back to your 100% ratio that you had before. Some people are going and doing that route. Other people are going ahead and, getting out of the position through trading because they again, once they see stuff like this, they're lost the belief that Hex or PulseChain is going to actually get released soon. And so they have given up the idea that PulseChain could be coming out, whether it be in May or June or even by 2024. I've seen some people say, and they truly do believe this, right? And so they see this post and they're like, whatever, I got time. And then they trade and they sell out and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what's going on with the Hex price. But again, guys, I hope everyone is paying attention to what's going on. And I hope y'all are taking advantage of the Hex price too, because I see this. I said it before. I didn't see it going down to 5 or below 5 cents. And boy, oh boy, are we sitting nice and close. In fact, it actually dropped as low as technically yesterday, just an hour and a half ago. It actually dropped as low as 4.982. And then it actually found some support, started bouncing back up again. But even now, it's sitting at 5.026. So I hope all of you beautiful people are getting all of your limit orders filled. If you do not have limit orders at this point in time, I've been discussing limit orders all the way back here at 9 cents. So this could have been great entry prices for everyone to go through from 9 cents to 8.5 to 8 cents to 7.5 to 7 cents to 6.5 to 6 cents. And I talk about this all the time. You do limit order ladder strategy, right? And maybe I got to come up with a different name for it, but that's my easiest way to describe it. You do a stair step limit order to make sure that you can capture all the moments, because I don't want to try to capture the absolute bottom. If it happens that way, I'll be ever so grateful and thankful. But I know the chances are slim to none that I'm going to be able to choose that exact moment in time. Because people who before thought 5.4 would be a bottom or 5.4 would be a nice support have already gone well below that. So I had my limit orders all the way at like 5.0. I had my limit orders at 5.5. I had my limit orders at 6. You know what I mean? Like, you set limit orders on the way up. So that way, as the price continues to dip, you just get to scoop up some more, folks. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. In fact, I'm grateful that it got to that low. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know if it was going to get to that low. I do see it getting low whenever the Pulse Chain launch comes out. And that's because you're going to have everyone who got a duplicate sell off their copy because now all their 100% is over on Pulse Chain. Remember how I was talking about Occam's razor? The most obvious answer is sometimes the actual answer. So if you have 100% over here on Ethereum, you get it duplicated. You now have 100% over here. That's 200% in total. You could sell this off if you don't think it's going to do anything in the near future. Some people lost sight on the long-term vision. So they sell this portion off, price drop, and then they pump the price over here on this side. So I could see the price of Hex on Pulse Chain doing some crazy, crazy things. But I hope all of y'all are scooping up these limit orders. I know one dude, when my boy Crypto Khalil got that order filled in as well, he just started learning some limit orders and he's getting them filled at this point in time. So shout out to Crypto Khalil and shout out to all the people who are Patreon supporters of the channel, who are supporting everyone who in this community, whether it be coming in on chat, hitting the comments, hitting the shares, hitting replays, making tweets, all this stuff, man. Like, shout out to all you beautiful people. Much love to every single one of y'all. This is what we do it for, man. This is why we're here. The community itself is absolutely incredible. But the way you look at it is, again, Richard Hart says free speech is an issue. of who's in power at the time. The incumbent fears replacement. It applies as well to industry as governance. So, like, I see this kind of stuff and I just start cracking up. You know what I mean? I see this and I'm like, bro, like talking about freedom of speech. What did we sacrifice for on PulseChain? Freedom of speech. I hope PulseChain surprises people like HEX did. Shit. Yo, that was 11 hours ago, and he's got 236,000 views on that alone. And he only has 300,000 followers. I say only, not to, laugh at or make fun of, but it's to show, look at this. Literally 2/3 of his followers have already seen it. And these are people who are guaranteed not to be following Richard Hart. There was only 40,000 people that sacrificed for PulseChain. That's it. There was only 110,000 people that sacrificed for PulseX. That's it. You've already got more people that have seen this one post alone than the entire sacrifice set for PulseChain and PulseX. And you're going to tell me you think the price is going to go down? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yo, my goodness, guys, that is absolutely crazy. But I hope y'all are getting, I absolutely hope y'all are getting them little limit orders filled. Like, this is the time. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Limit orders on the exchange so I can get more HEX. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just having some fun right here. Cryptic Life says, I retired from nodes, but after 2 weeks at home with my wife, I had to go back to work, self-employed, LMAO, boredom is real. Yo, straight up, Cryptic Life, like, hey, I started the whole YouTube channel as well because I was like, I was sitting at home and I had gone disc golf because I'm a disc golfer, frisbee golf, whatever you want to say. And I was like, dude, I gone disc golf every single day. And it was like, this is what I always wanted to do. And I would go bowling during the day. And I was like, this is what I always wanted to do. And I would just chill and just kick my feet up and not do anything, man. And then you're just like, you look at it, I'm like, shit, I got people that pay for the cleaning of the house. I got people that are paying for the lawn service. I got everyone doing everything at this point in time. Like, what in the fuck am I doing besides sitting around at the house, right? You want to improve yourself, of course. I definitely had a lot of self-improvement reflection moments in that time period, and I hope everyone gets to experience that as well. But the idea that I'm bringing up and the reason why I say all this is because when the time comes and you are in a similar situation, you may be looking to end up starting something, whether it be hosting Twitter spaces, which we've seen many folks in our community do for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours, and they just keep it going. You have other content creators like myself and Westcott and all the other content creators out there who are wanting to make a brand, right, for Pulse Nation, who are wanting to spread the word, spread the energy, spread the good love, and make sure that everyone has a best time during this period. So that's what we started putting focus on as well. So always fun right here. You can't be that person for everyone. I would give them homework. Yo, straight up, Crypto Cloud's like, no, I mean, I'm for real. Like, I already learned that a long time ago. But it's just funny that when you describe what you do, and again, like, you could either say like, I stream, or I could say other stuff that I do as well. I think it's just fun to say I'm retired because it's just, why not, right? All the other people who are out there still grinding, older, younger, and all that good stuff. It's just fun to say because you're like, it's true, right? You're like, I get to do what I want to do when I want to do it, And so the funny part there is that, yes, you would definitely give them homework, right? And so, like, one, I just, now that I have a YouTube channel, I just tell them, like, go check out my channel if you really want to learn. Come in, chat, we'll have all the fun, all that good stuff. It makes it a lot easier. So that way, if people want to come check it out and they want to have some fun, we can. But I'm past the point now, unless it's like close friends that I really want to see do very well for themselves. So when PulseChain comes out, for example, I do have a few other friends that I'm going to be getting involved. But to go through and explain the whole process to them on Ethereum for PulseChain to may or may not launch within a couple of days or a month or two weeks or however long it takes, I'd rather just wait until PulseChain's here and then tell them to start DCAing for the next year to 2 years. And that's kind of the strategy that I've now implemented. People I know still consider it a fad and remind me of how the politicians they like want to take it down. Yeah, I see what you're saying now, Joseph. Yo, that's funny. That's not, yeah, it's a fad. Yeah, exactly. Like crypto's going away. It's just here for the little bit. It's a bubble, it's everything's a Ponzi and everything's a scam. The government's gonna retire, put people on all these different regulations and all these different things. And it's like, bro, this shit's so decentralized. Like, just go find somewhere else to live that treat you better if you honestly have to. But yes, there are many politicians who are of the old mind at this point in time that do want to see it fail. You know what I mean? That's just what they want. And that's okay. That is what it is, right? There are several other politicians that want to see it succeed. So if you want to put forth the voting and everything like that, you can go vote for the people who want to go do that. I'm not looking to be a validator. So what are my options to stake PLS and PLSX? Well, you'll only be able to. So if you're not wanting to be a validator, you have a couple of options. You could wait for single-sided staking to come to PulseX, which should be about 30 days to 60 days. Has to get voted on by the DAO and has to get implemented in, and it's going to be different projects putting up different coins. We're just going to see how all that works. We haven't seen that happen so far. The Pulse side, you won't be able to stake it. They've removed delegating from validators, so that was removed. You have liquid loans as an option. Risky. That's leverage, in my opinion. Risky. Done incorrectly, get yourself wrecked. You have the liquidity providing. Risky. Once again, if you don't understand impermanent loss and you don't understand how impermanent loss comes to be a thing and why it can be very, very bad in certain scenarios to provide liquidity on certain pairs, and then you end up with the one that did worse, and you pull it at that time, and you see that Pulse goes and does a 1000x, and Pulse X goes and does a 200x, and you pull your liquidity to take out some profits, and you're left with Pulse X that only did the 200x, and there may not be enough for you to be able to actually see what you were wanting because that's what you did, right? So risky. And then there's yield farming. So those are really the options at that time. They all have some inherent risk at this time, which is why validators is by far the least riskiest out of them all. However, if you are a validator and you aren't a good validator, you can be hit with slashing, which in that scenario could be taking away some pulse from you, and you wouldn't be earning fees for certain days. So on days where you're getting the 32, 25% APR, APY, all that good stuff, then you wouldn't be earning fees. So yeah, sucks in that scenario too, right? So the easiest play is to do honestly nothing with Pulse if you don't feel like even messing with any of that, and then wait for single-sided staking to come out for Pulse X, and then just start earning the yield going that route with the single-sided staking. Because at least at that point in time, you aren't susceptible to impermanent loss. You just have to be mindful that some tokens have a tax when you enter and tax when you exit, but that's easy to find out, so it's not too crazy. Yeah, I mean, I would say Pulse, you don't really have too many options. Pulse X, you're definitely going to have some options, and it depends on how far the rabbit hole you want to go, right? If you want to go down, provide liquidity. If you want to go down and yield farm, if you want to go on and take out some, liquid loans, leverage, that kind of stuff, and stake it inside a protocol so you can earn some loan token and then stake that loan token to earn more tokens. And all these things just kind of perpetuate themselves into a nice little payment amount for sure. But it just depends on how much risk you're willing to take in that whole scenario. So, yeah, I mean, great question, though, Joseph. Crypto CPT. My bad. Charles Stone, what's up, my dude? I haven't seen you in a little while, but it's always good to see you, my friend. Hey, TX, HEX is in trouble because ETH is in trouble from the gas fees. No, I mean, right now, dude, so this is like, in all reality, man, it's sad to say, but this is like some of the cheapest gas fees I've seen in basically a month. So if you're trying to transact at this point in time, it might be a good time. Like, this is a full tracker for an entire month, and I'm going to refresh it just to make sure it's currently up to date. I know it had all that on the side, but this is like everything that's happened really over the entire last month. And you can see, like, very rarely did we ever get any of these, right? Like, you may have seen a couple, but that was at the very beginning of April, and we ain't seen these since. Everything else was roughly about 20 to 30 Gwei, and that was more so on the higher side, like 29 to 30. And even then, that was only until April 15th. And then everything else since the 17th of April have basically been 30 Gwei or higher the entire like last 2 weeks. So the fact that like that was the lowest you saw was 27. 27 was the lowest out of 30 days. This is over the last 30 days, boys and girls. Like 30 days, 27 was the lowest. So whenever I see Gwei sitting at 33, 31, like fuck it. I mean, that's a good, like, I hate to say it, but that's a good Gwei. Hey, look at y'all transacting right now. Look at y'all beautiful people. But yes, Gwei does suck, man. But I mean, it's really because of a couple of these bullshit ones right here, right? They end up causing everyone, like you see, this is 15 of the top gas guzzlers in the ecosystem, and 3 of them are for this shit right here, right? Like that sucks. That sucks, man. Fuck is this, dude? You're just punishing everyone because you're garbage. I don't know. Hate it, but that's my own personal opinion. Um, yeah, I mean, to answer the question, people aren't transacting right now, not because of gas fees, but more so because they honestly just don't know what to fucking do, right? They don't know if the price is going to go lower. They don't know if PulseChain's launching soon. Every game plan that they've implemented so far is not worked. And so people start distrusting themselves. And when you start losing trust in yourself, it makes it very difficult to do anything, which is why I say remove the emotions and put limit orders in, right? Like if you want to buy some, you do it by limit orders. Like why pay the high stupid gas fees? That sucks. Just do it via limit order and get a good deal. It pays the gas fee for you. You can use websites like portalxswap.io. You can use websites like CalSwap. You can use things like 1inch if you're not here in the US, or if you want to get risky, be on a VPN in the US. It's not something that I even bother with though at this time. So there's definitely ways around it. But yeah, man, that's I would say it's not that Hex is in trouble. I would say that Hex is now very correlated to PulseChain. Like correlated, like locked the fuck in with PulseChain, unfortunately. Right. And you can literally see this if you actually go back and just take a little look right here and just go back to say weekly, for example. So this is weekly right here. So this was the announcement of sacrifice for PulseChain right here, somewhere between this June to July timeframe, somewhere in this range, sacrifice for PulseChain. A lot of people thought PulseChain would be coming out the next couple of weeks, if not the next couple of months. So we get into about September, where guess what? We hit the all-time high. People realize at that point in time that it's probably likely that PulseChain isn't actually going. Let me see if I can remove I don't want to see the wicks. I don't really care for the wicks at this time. Symbols, wick. Okay, cool. So this is kind of where you see exactly what we just talked about. PulseChain sacrifice here. PulseChain build-up phase. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And then right before they got to, let off their load, they realized that PulseChain ain't coming. And then guess what? The dump happened right there, right? And then we took a dump down 66% from there over the next 2 months. Well, then we also got the news of PulseX sacrifice. So guess what happened? PulseX sacrifice happening right around this area, the end of December timeframe, and people were hearing the rumors of PulseX sacrifice coming, and it got a nice little 2x pump at this time as well, from 14 cents up to 28 cents. And from there, that was when the whale strategy started. We've already seen what the whales did over here. We watched it happen in place. And then once the sacrifice phase ended for the 19 days, the price of HEX started pumping. Well, that same thing happened here, whether it be dumping here, whatever. The price actually started pumping up, but this is that day 2 sacrifice area. The price started dumping right there. It was already foretold. Like we knew this was going to happen. So because we knew it was going to happen, then we already got to see how this was going to play out. Well, guess what happened? We got the announcement that PulseChain could be out in a couple more weeks. So you got a few people that said, shit, yeah, let's do it. Good little 50% bump right there. Well, and then you got the mid-May announcement. This is mid-May right here. Mid-May came and left, and then bam, mid-May did not happen, and the price of HEX just absolutely took a dump, right? Another 80% drop at that time. Now mid-May came and left, and people thought PulseChain was going to come out. PulseChain once again did not come out from here, so it just kind of capitulated sideways for a little bit of time, and really all the way up to about here. I mean, this is everything that happened. We didn't hear any announcement. Mid-May came and left, never came and never happened. So from here all the way up until about this date, we didn't hear a single thing from PulseChain. That's 147 days. We didn't hear nothing about PulseChain. And then all of a sudden we get the tweet from Richard Hart talking about PulseChain. This is when everything started kind of pumping again, right? This is when you started seeing people get excited. Why aren't you drawing? What the heck? Okay, there it goes. This is when people started getting excited. This is when people were like, "Oh shit, oh shit!" Richard Hart just said PulseChain. Oh shit! Here we go, here we go, here we go. This is so cool. And then like V2B, you know, V3 was coming out, all that good stuff. And then it was just like news or non-news hurt or helped the price of HEX during this time. That's all that was. This is all the anticipation of PulseChain launching. We're here in March now. People realize once again, damn it, I was fooled again. I done seen this story all too many times. Why did I believe it this time? Why did I think this time was going to be different? Well, so now we're again 35 days into this, where people basically realize that we're no longer going to be seeing PulseChain launch, at least in the near future, in their mind, because we've seen this story. It's played out all the way from back here. I mean, we've seen this shit so many times. So the people have a hard time believing, man, and I don't blame them. You know what I mean? It does suck for sure, but at the same time, like, it is what it is, right? It really is what it is. And then from there, we've had the price of HEX drop down 45, 46% from that local top, right? You know what I mean? So again, I removed all the wicks. I know we got up to 12 and all that good stuff, but I just removed the wicks because I don't feel like looking at wicks. I just want to see how the actual close went down. And yeah, this is kind of where you start seeing some stuff, right? And now we're at the point where you had some strong resistance all the way here. And guys, like, look at the resistance right now. Like, we've actually broken the 5.4 cent barrier that was kind of holding it as a little bit of support, because people were just selling, and I mean dumping, you know what I mean? Like, they were tanking the HEX. I mean, even right here, it was 4 million HEX sold at like 7 o'clock. You know, like you can see like this particular entity right here sold 4 million HEX right here. And so if you actually go down and look in their wallet, you can see that they converted all of their HEX into DAI. Do they think DAI is going to do better? Do they think DAI is going to have some value when PulseChain launches? No one fucking knows, right? But like, going into a stable coin before PulseChain launch is probably not the best play in my personal opinion, right? I'm not financial advisor, but holding Ethereum and holding stable coins, probably not the fucking tokens you should be holding when PulseChain launch happens. But this person converted all of their HEX into DAI. So they're sitting on $201,000 right now, all in DAI. They just did this a few hours ago, and they've just been dumping all today, right? Like you can see, they did a small, they got a little bit of DAI right here, 40,000 worth, but again, not really too much. But then they started doing 3,806,000, you know, all this stuff. And they were just dumping all of their HEX right into DAI. So it is what it is, man. Like, we don't really know exactly what's going on. People are making plays, and everyone thinks they're making the best play possible for themselves, whether or not they realize it could be wrong, whether or not they're open to the idea that they could be wrong. They don't even want to take a risk. They literally went all in on this DAI stablecoin right here. And that's probably not the route to go. Like, if you're going to do something, I get it. Have fun, you know, take some swings, right? You miss all the swings that you never take, and I get that. But to convert all of it into DAI and not hold any HEX, a little bit crazy if you ask me, right? So then typically what I'll do is I'll just take a little gander and see if these people are even holding any stakes. You know what I mean? Like, that's always one of my next questions that I like to take a little look at, right? Cool. There you go. Cool. All right. So here we go. So I'm just going to see again if these people have any stakes. It's just something that I just want to try to take a little gander at. So Yeah, I mean, they've done too, like, this is what I'm saying, like, all the people who are dumping their hex, they aren't even staked, man, like, so it's like, I don't know, man. Is Hex in trouble? No, it's not. It's definitely not in trouble because of the ETH from gas. Like, it sucks when you end a stake. It sucks if you don't have a lot to start a stake. It sucks if you don't have enough to end the stake. So, is it penalized in that regard? For sure. The smaller stakes are going to be penalized, right? But for people who have been in this ecosystem, even 6 months to a year, they've built up a position of over 100,000 hex or whatever the amount of hexes that they have. That's a decent amount to stake, and that's enough to actually make some decent yield from as well. I mean, this person staked 182,000 hex, and granted, they had millions of hex, folks. Like, they just ended a stake February 20th of 2023. They ended both of these stakes at the same exact day, giving them 1.9 million hex. They only staked 182,000 of that hex. Like, I don't fucking get it, man. I don't get it with these people because it's like they've seen it work, they've watched it happen, they earned the trustless yield, they had everything happen. They literally earned, I mean, shit, they only staked for fucking 30 days though. So yeah, they earned 9%. I don't know, man. It's just, you see this kind of stuff all the time. And um wow, they aren't even ending this stake. This one ended March 22nd of 2023. And this one's just kind of going to be sitting there for a little bit. So this one still has to end, and I can bet they're probably just going to sell it when they get it ended. But this is what I'm saying. Like, so often, these people aren't even staked at this point in time. So it's just a fun little thing that I see, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is for sure. But yeah, I don't think it's ETH gas fees as to why Hex is getting hurt. I think it's a combination of a lot, but primarily it's the fact that PulseChain isn't here. When PulseChain launches, you got to imagine there's going to be mad gains. People are going to do all sorts of stupid shit, whether it be selling their hex or emergency end staking all of their hex on Ethereum, bridging it over onto PulseChain. They're going to be doing all sorts of shit, man. So, like, just get ready for chaos. And then hopefully you got everything in place and you can just sit back and just say, cool, I'll earn some additional yield every single day because people are going to do a bunch of stuff that's not necessarily going to be a good play or even advised or an advantageous play for the future, but they're going to be doing what they think is best in the moment. And that's, everyone's going to have to go through that. It's your bag. You have to choose at the end of the day if you buy or if you sell. And so, yeah, 100% agree with all of that. Exactly. You can't time the bottom. So, my may as well limit order in, like you're saying. Yeah, dude. Like, I looked today because I had a limit order filled with not filled. I had a limit order with Icosa, and as the limit order was sitting there with Icosa, I don't really hold too much USDC because I don't want to hold stables. I've told you this myself, so why would I be in a different position? So I don't really hold stables at this time, but the USDC that I hold for my limit orders. And it was funny because I didn't even realize that I had created a couple too many limit orders in this regard with Icosa and with Hex, and it's like USDC balance insufficient. Just in case the order ends up getting filled on either one. So I had to go top that up today. So I thought that was kind of funny. Um, but it was just one of those moments that I'm just like, guys, I got my limit orders in. You know what I mean? Like, I got my ladders, I got the stair step going down. I'm not holding a massive bag of stablecoin. I'm doing what I think is going to be the best beneficial way. And I think the price on the Ethereum side is going to take a little dump when PulseChain launches. So I'm trying to be there to capitalize on it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to try to be like, oh my God, I need to go buy it. Is this the bottom? Is it going down to 3 cents? Is it going down to 4 cents? Is it going down to 1 cent? Like, fuck that, dude. Just remove the emotions, man. Take the emotions out. You know what I mean? Like, jeez. All right, so let's see what's going on real quick. Yeah, exactly. You can't time the bottom 100%. It's 2:40 a.m. UK time. Just checking in. Cheers, ATX. Hey, Okarts. Much love to you, my friend. God dang. Still awake here in the UK. Woo! 2:40. You must be having a wonderful Saturday, and I hope you had a fantastic weekend all day so far. Bullish, yeah, buddy, sure is bullish for sure, for sure. Wagwan, brother, working my ass off to constant DCA. Cost that's a ticket because that's a ticket. Here's to the future. We're gonna be grateful in a couple years. Yeah, for sure, man. Like, everyone who's putting through the time and the the commitment, the constant, consistent DCA strategy for the next year, 2 years, and any of these projects, you're going to do very, very, very well, right? Like, we're entering bull market here. 2023 is that accumulation phase. I've said this so many times, dude. We're literally going through the same cycle as always. So after the end of a bear market, you go through a capitulation accumulation phase where everything is like, I don't know if it's bull, I don't know if it's bear, I don't know if it's bull, I don't know if it's bear. And you do this over and over and over again. And eventually, once a bull market hits, once it's here, we've seen meme coins pop off like crazy lately. It's just a matter of time before other coins start catching up, and it's called altcoin season at that point in time. Then you start seeing shit go pew, and you start seeing it fly up, right? You can see stuff like 10x in a day, which is wild. You can see stuff like 50x in a week, which is wild. And you just have to be ready for that. You know what I mean? So make sure that you're doing everything that you can, because all the stuff that you're doing right now is so that way you can have what others can't, because they aren't willing to do what you were willing to do at the time that you did it. They're going to be wanting to jump in after it's already gone and done a 50x and say, how can I get in? And they only may be able to capture a 3x from there. You'll be able to capture a full 150x at that point in time. You know what I mean? So don't look at this in a small sense of like a frame of time. Look at it as what you're doing to make sure that you can secure your future when the time comes. Okay. So, yes, constant DCA, amazing, amazing, amazing stuff right there. Love the work you do, fam. You're one of my favorite streamers. Daddy Hexler, much love, dude. That means a lot. For real, for real. Like, seriously. Seriously, like I do this because it's enjoyable for sure, but I definitely do it for y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely doing this for you guys. I know I'm here sharing all the information all the time, and I appreciate all the comments and everything that comes through as well. But yes, so freaking beautiful. Only 15,000 wallets sacrifice more than $500 for Pulse. Wallets, not people. It's more bullish than anyone understands. Sir Knife, yo, that right there says it, guys. Like, only 15,000 wallets, not people. Many people have multiple wallets, which is why we say that. Only 15,000 sacrifice for more than $500 for Pulse. Out of 40,000 people that sacrifice, 40,000 wallets. Let me thank you for clarifying. 40,000 wallets that sacrifice. Only 15,000 of those wallets are even above $500. And you want to act like the price of Pulse ain't going to do some crazy shit when it launches? Get out of here, man. But then that's what I'm saying. This is where it comes back full circle, guys. You see the gains from Pulse, you see the gains from PulseX. You want to cycle those back into something that you can make some passive income on in a more secure, safe way that you understand. Which one is that? Probably going to be HEX, because it's been around 3+ years paying trustless yield this entire time. Whether that's HEX on Ethereum, whether that's HEX on PulseChain, your decision, or decide whatever else you want to do with it. But you're going to take some of the gains and some of the profits and move them into some of the other ones so you can actually hold them. So in case you get yourself wrecked doing something stupid, hopefully y'all don't. But if you do, you at least have fallback options that you can make sure that you pay yourself going forward into the future. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that we're getting into. But yes, that is amazing. Only 15,000 wallets sacrificed, $500 or more. Goodness gracious. If you're in that category and you're above the $500, fucking congratulations, my friend. And if you're not above there, don't even worry. I've talked about this time and time again. You DCA for the first 6 months of the new project coming out, like PulseChain, you're going to do very, very, very well. Odds are more stacked in your favor than against in that scenario. And I do it with something so simple as $166 a month. I mean, fuck, dude, I went and bought, Westcott a beautiful bottle of Glenlivet. He well-earned, well-deserved, my brother right there. But it's $200. And I went to fucking Whataburger the other day, a fast food joint. I went to Whataburger the other day. Bitch was $80 to feed me and the fam. I just didn't need to go to Whataburger that day. Save myself $80. Like, find $166, guys. Like, You can find it if you honestly take 2 seconds to actually think about what you're spending money on. Do you need that shit from Amazon right now, or can you delay getting it for a year? Do you need the new game, or can you delay getting it for a year? Do you need to have cable, or can you delay having it for a year? What are you going to put forth to sacrifice? What are you willing to commit to make sure that you do freaking win going into the future? Right? That is what we're here for. But it takes a commitment. It takes consistency, it takes commitment, it makes to make sure it takes having your mind ready, because guys, if your mind is not ready, you will not be able to sustain the gains. And I want to see everyone sustain them, man. I want to see everyone build their wealth. I want to see everyone learn how to handle themselves when they have this money. But typically, money amplifies your worst traits. So be careful if you are not ready for it. Make sure you have a plan in place to help yourself in that scenario. Do you already know when you're going to take profits? That's a great start. Do you already know when you're going to move money from one project to another? Do you already know when you're going to move and start buying the dips? What entry levels do you start buying at? Is it 30% from the local top? Is it 50% from the local top? Is it 60? Like, make sure you set up a plan. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. It's a 5 piece, folks. Say it with me. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. It will make sure that you have something in place to make sure that you can freaking succeed in this world of crypto, because goodness gracious, it is wild, it is crazy, it is volatile, and it is absolutely game changer for me and so many people, for everybody. You just like, I told my buddies, man, to sacrifice $1,000. This is before we knew PulseChain was going to take 2 years to come out. I said, fucking put away $1,000, man. I told him I don't care if it takes 2 years, but sure shit, here we are. But I said, if you put away 1,000 right now, and if that time that you were able to put away 1,000, if it grew in to $100,000, would you wait 2 years to get that money? And their answer most of the time is yes. But when reality hits and you see it go from 1,000 to 100,000, do you really wait, or do you just say that because it's something that you think you can do? Like, make sure that you're freaking ready. Have a proper plan in place, please. Please. Please have a proper plan in place. Thanks for the great answer. Of course, Crypto CPT. Dude, yeah, if y'all got any questions as well, man, like, we just here, we're hanging out, we're having fun, let me know if y'all got some questions as well. I got more HEX a few days ago, and it was like 27 Gwei. Shake my head. Dude, that was by far the best Gwei you were gonna get, Cryptic Life. You just saw me pull up a chart a moment ago. 27 Gwei has been the cheapest Gwei in 30 days. So congrats for getting that local bottom on the Gwei, because I've been waiting to get it in the 20s, man. And I've been patient and I've been fucking waiting. And then I'm just like, fuck waiting, man. Because I had a stake that I had to end. And I was just like, I'll just freaking pay the fee, man. Forget it, dude. And I think I ended up paying it at like 35 Gwei, because once again, dude, I didn't want to stay up and wait until the particular time. But that's annoying, dude. It's definitely very frustrating. I don't appreciate paying these higher fees for any reason. But congrats on getting that 27 Gwei, by the way. Do NFTs use more gas? If so, why? Yes, they do. And it's more so just because of the congestion and network is how it works on that one. So when you actually see like this particular stuff on here on the Gwei, once again, this is the gas tracker on an Etherscan, and these are the gas guzzlers. So these are the ones kind of like causing the gas fees to go up a little bit. But Uniswap is pretty much the biggest reason as to why it is. And it's because a lot of people are transacting through Uniswap, right? And they just don't have a way of making fees cheaper there. There's just no way of getting around it. Other ones that you see are stuff like Seaport. You see another one, Blur.io is a NFT marketplace. You'll see a lot of the times when the NFTs start coming back, and you'll start seeing OpenSea show up on here. And it's because people transact very quickly with NFTs. So a lot of the times you will hold your tokens, but when it comes to NFTs, they launch 50,000 things at a time, for example, or 1,500 things for a category, right? If you want a collection, they just have 1,500 NFTs come out all at once. Well, what has to happen is a lot of those people will have to mint those NFTs into existence. And so they mint it. And then what happens is people have to buy those NFTs, and they're all individual transactions. So it's not like you're doing this batch, you're not doing this, bulk or anything like that. You're doing these little NFT transactions over and over and over again. And the reason why gas fees are high is because the more network that load that the network has to or that the network has to actually deal with, the higher the fees are to make sure that it pays out and all that good stuff. So that's just kind of how it works. When you have NFTs and they have a brand new collection, which is why a lot of the times when you see like a brand new collection go up for a day, you'll actually see gas fees hit in the range of like fucking 400 or 100, or like some crazy numbers. Like this was like a really good example. This is probably like, if I looked as to what happened on 420 besides smokers reefers day, what happened on 420 on this one was, I would assume there was probably some NFT collection that was dropped, right? And again, I don't know that for certain, but the way I see 144 Gwei sitting right here, it leads it leads me to believe that there was probably something like that, at least on that particular day, that happened. And that just is like a day that you never want to transact. Like if you see it just fucking start skyrocketing and it's above 50 and it's above 60, like just sit back and wait, because it doesn't stay up there for too long typically. Because once all the things are minted, once all the things are done, once all the things are bought, everyone's kind of holding at this point in time, because then they hold their NFTs thinking they're going to get, they're going to sell it a month from now. And when its price is higher and blah, 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 then all those situations will cause the way to start going back down. But a lot of the times when you start seeing a pump like that, it's typically because there's something that happened on the network. It's some protocol that got launched. It's something that got released. All those things start kind of coming into play. So I hope that answered the question as well, John. But yes, NFTs can be a reason as to why we could be using some more gas. All right, I'm off to sleep now. Catch you on the next stream. Hey, you don't know. Still stealing the Westcott line on that one. Cards, much love, my friend. Seriously. One of the first people who actually tuned in to my streams whenever I first started was Cards. So much love. The fact that you're still around, still here, still showing that love and support means the world, man. It really does. I know you're already asleep, I'm sure, at this point in time, but thank you, man. Thank you so much. Brandon, how you doing? Brandon Leclerc. Theory, whales are keeping hex price down pre-launch makes sense, so people can't get larger bags of PulseX after launch. Yes. Yeah, Brandon, I said that exact same thing, and I pointed that out long time whenever the price of hex was actually here around the 9 cent level. I said, oh, gotcha. So whales are just going to suppress, and they will just continue to suppress. At this point in time, there's no reason for them to let go. Why? Because they do want to get a bigger bag, like you said. They don't want to compete with you to try to get a bigger bag. So a lot of the time, some whales that are actually in hex do have stakes that actually end, and they have many stakes. I'll say 6,000 T-shares worth of stakes, for example, and they're okay with selling their hex liquid right now because they still have so many T-shares that are printing those hex for them. So congrats to those individuals, but they also have the ability to also constantly suppress the price. And that's exactly what's happening. Why? Because there's very low liquidity within the hex ecosystem at this time. So when you actually see over here in terms of liquidity, there's only $6.9 million, which granted is not big in the grand scheme of crypto. So when you actually see that kind of stuff over here, it's not too surprising that you could have a person come in and sell off 200,000 to $1 million worth, and the price is going to drop. It's vice versa as well, where people can come and scoop that up and inject $1 million, but a lot of the times they're hit with some slippage. I've pulled this up as well whenever you actually try doing like a Uniswap order, for example. And just here we go, swap. Let me go into a different tab. So just as like an example, I've kind of showed this before, but whenever you actually end up having something like this, for example, we'll say USDC, and the token that we're going to get, we'll say HEX, and we'll just say they're going to come in with $1 million. Well, in this scenario, look at that. Uniswap doesn't even have fucking commas. Check that out. I guess I haven't really checked out Uniswap in quite some time, but PulseX actually has commas. But it has commas down here Fucking weird. Anyways, you're gonna see this little 5.4 cent right here, right? So that actually means that you actually are getting 5.4% slippage when you put in this order. So you'll put in $1 million, but you're only gonna get out 950,000. So whales just can't come in like that. They have to come in and kind of scoop it up with like $100,000 order at a time. And even then, you can see they're pushing the price against themselves even here, right? And so they really like whales aren't incentivized right now to come in and like push the price like it once was, um, because they're also waiting, I'm sure, at this point in time for PulseChain, right? And so they already have their system set up. So like they're having to come in with like I don't even know $70,000 orders and that kind of stuff where you can actually get pretty close to your actual amount. So there you go. You're still getting a 1% slippage on that as well. And that's still pretty. So some whales are like, nah, fuck that. I'll just wait. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense to do that. I want to come in with $1 million. I don't want to have to go buy 7,000 or $70,000 worth for 5 times or however many times that could be, right? So, and again, like you have to pay gas every time. So I get it. Like they got the money. It's all good. I understand. But that's kind of how that works, man. So it's kind of sucks at the same time for sure, right? It definitely does, right? But yes, Brandon, I do 100% believe that whales are going to suppress price. Funkmaster Hex, ATX, my man. How you doing, my dude? Much love to Funkmaster Hex. I think he's by far the number one commenter on replays. So shout out to Funkmaster Hex, man. Appreciate you and everything that you do as well. Whales dump the price to go into stables. Now your hex is worth less on the other side, while they can bridge in the stable and buy PLS. Yeah. So I mean, for sure, face reality. I mean, that's the game. That's what's happening. You know what I mean? Like we've seen it happen, man. We've gone through this already. When PulseChain launch sacrifice happened, when PulseX sacrifice happened, you got to see the whales come out of the woodworks to play their games, and this is their game. We're back in their freaking forte right now. We're back sitting where it's going to be looking like we're going to be having the price suppressed. They don't have the incentive to go pump it. And a lot of the times it's the same thing that we talked about earlier, right? With Occam's razor. Sometimes the most obvious answer is in fact the actual answer. They're getting everything duplicated, right? So like they don't need to have 100% over here. They can have 50% of their bags sold off in this scenario because they're going to get it duplicated over here. So you'll have 50 over here, 50 over here, giving them 100% total, right? And so like they're okay with that. They're okay with knowing that it's getting duplicated. So many people are doing that in their heart of hearts because they are like, cool. They either see the price reaching parity quickly, they either see the price of Hex on PulseChain going up faster, so they don't really care so much. They're willing to even drop it down to 25%, so you only have 25% here. But if the price pumps up much faster over here, then it actually will pump up much faster, and so you end up with like 75% of your bag over here, 25% of your bag over here, and you actually sold off 75% now, and you got to take some profits now. I mean, it's like it's there. It's like it's here. It's right in front of us. It's literally happening right in front of our eyes. So I hope again, all you beautiful people are taking advantage of this and actually setting limit orders on the way down. I don't know if it's going to get much lower than this, right? But if it does, set some at 4.7, set some at 4.2, set some at 3.7. Because just in the freaking off chance, dude, in the freaking off chance, PulseChain doesn't launch by mid-May, the price is going to take a dip. When PulseChain does launch, the price is going to take a dip. So we're probably betting pretty good odds that the price is at least going to come down to a certain range. What that range is, I don't fucking know. But what I can tell you is I have limit orders that go down there just in case, as a JIC, I say, you know what I mean? So it's like learn how to set limit orders, learn how to understand and better take benefits of this entire system. Yeah, Hart's Law is beautiful for sure, for sure. What's up, Denise? How you doing, my love? ATX. Maybe they have multiple wallets. They may intend to bridge their DAI to buy whatever on the other side when PulseChain launches. So many different possible strategies. For sure, yeah, Denise. I mean, I took 1 second of a look at that wallet. I didn't do any sort of like chain analysis with that wallet. I didn't do any sort of, I didn't do a deeper dive to see how long they've held their hex for. I didn't go back and see if they've got other wallets with hex. I definitely didn't, but 100% for sure. Maybe they're just planning on bridging at that point in time, and maybe they're planning on providing liquidity and bringing in that DAI for a stablecoin ability. Now, DAI is not the coin that you want, man. It's just DAI is not the coin that you want. I know we got the PulseX as the biggest, second biggest, third biggest DAI holder. I don't know what it is anymore. Last time I looked, it was the third biggest, but let me take a little gander real fast since we're talking about it right now, anyways. So I'll show you all on screen just so that way everyone's kind of watching with me. But if you go to etherscan.io, just type in DAI, for example, you can actually just choose the DAI stablecoin at this time. You then go to holders right here, and you'll actually see PulseX Sacrifice is the #1 holder of DAI. So a lot of people are taking this to believe in their heart of hearts that DAI is going to have some value when PulseChain launches. And that is just like the furthest thing from the truth that I don't know how else to explain it. But DAI is pegged to USDC and it's pegged to Ethereum. And Ethereum's going to break when it comes over as Pulse. So how could it have any value? The MakerDAO protocol will not work. You will not be able to redeem anything for a DAI. So like I think it's tough because they're seeing it on the test net as T-DAI and they're seeing it as a dollar value over there. So maybe they're making the play in anticipation of that. And again, guys, like just because you're a whale in this system, just because you have millions of dollars doesn't make you smart. Okay. Let's just be very clear about that. It does not make you an intelligent person. It means you happen to choose a good quality coin that you understood and it worked out great for you. That's all. It doesn't make you the most intelligent person to have ever existed. You are not the most savvy investor. You do not have a full understanding of everything. Fuck, I don't have a full understanding of everything, but I at least know that I don't have a full understanding of everything. But I can say this right here that DAI will be worthless over on PulseChain. The way the system is done and set up, it just will not work. But to each their own. Denise, yes, I do believe that they have their own vision as well, that they think something like that could definitely happen. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to have their own opinion, man, and everyone's welcome to it as well. Stupid Pac-Man. You better be wishing me. You better be wishing me some Christmas wishes over here, Pac-Man. Smash the like key, absolutely. Smash the like key, friends and fam. Blockaroni, how you doing? What's up, fam? Much love to you, my dude. Shout out to Blockaroni. Spacey 007, nice hat. Where'd you get it, bro? I actually got it from Side Effects. If you go to sideeffects.art. So this is actually his little merch site right here. So this is actually the little merch site that you can see right here. Oops. Whoops. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah, if you go to sideeffects.art, exactly like it's spelled right here. PSYDIPHECTS.art, A-R-T. You'll actually get a whole list of an entire selection of a whole bunch of goodies, whether it be hoodies, whether it be hats, whether it be beanies or jackets or mugs or clocks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they got a lot of stuff. You can actually come up here and see a whole bunch of accessories, clothing for men, women, footwear as well. They got some men's shoes. They got flip-flops on here. Look at these little beautiful PulseChain shoes right here. Yeah, I mean, a whole bunch of stuff on this, right? So if y'all are wanting some beer mugs, some pint glasses, you want to have that nice little PulseX drink while you're sitting down, nice little triage of HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. You got them all right here. I mean, yeah, sideeffects.art. And this is where I got the hat at, by the way. So shout out Side Effects, man. Much love to you. He's a really cool dude. We got to meet up many a times now at this point in time, and looking forward to many more meetings with him as well. So he's really cool, man. Love having him in the ecosystem. John East, at this point, there's a lot of repetitive info while we wait for launch, but it creates habits for all users and prepares us greatly for the future. I appreciate you and thank you, ATX. John East, like, dude, for real, my guy, I got you, dude. If y'all got questions as well, like, never hesitate to ask questions. Yes, there can be some silly questions, and yes, there can be questions that can be asked better. But at the same time, some people just don't know how to ask a better question. So if y'all have any questions, y'all are welcome to always reach out to me. I'm happy to assist where I can. If it requires more of a one-on-one scenario, then I do offer that for Patreon tiers as well. Patreon.com/ATX Crypto. If you actually want to book a one-on-one and actually get more deep into the details of like what actually may look like for you or your family or your friends or whatever, or maybe get a little bit better idea. But if it's simple questions, man, ask them, dude. Ask away. I'll get to them when I get to them, but it's a great time asking them as well. So, Johnny, thank you as well, dude. For real, for real. Denise, yes, ma'am. What's going on, Denise? There's a 2-week grace period to end stakes and a small penalty per week thereafter. I don't remember how much. It goes down 1% every week thereafter. So, yes, after 14 days. So, if you have a stake that ends, so for example, this particular character who we were looking at just a little bit earlier. So, this character right here. Oh, I have to add it to the stream. My bad. This character right here, his stake ended on March 22nd of 2023. He's already completed 100% of this at this time. So the easiest thing to do is you would actually go and say, however many days from March 22nd, 14 days. Dude, we're already actually past that at this point in time. So it's already been a month and some change. So it's actually going to go down 1% per week after the 2-week period. So on day 21, you're going to lose 1% of that stack. On day 28, you're going to lose 1% of that stack. And it'll do that for 100 weeks until eventually it just depletes into nothing. And then eventually it actually gets paid back out to the stakers. People can, in fact, run good accounting on this as well. If you actually are a good soul, you could do it. If you had some, like, if you knew this was your friend, they're in some trouble, they're in a situation. After the stake is completed 100% progress, anyone can run a good accounting function. And that'll actually stop it at that time. It'll actually keep it from bleeding out of the 100%, 1% per week scenario, but it doesn't mint it into existence. So, because if you don't actually own the wallet, then you can't end the stake and you can't mint it into existence. But anyone can run a good accounting function. And it's been done many a times on days that you see a high payout, for example. That's because someone will typically run a good accounting function. John Wick has done very well when it comes to that stuff as well. So, yes, there is a grace period as well. I just said as well like 15 times. As well, as well, as well, as well. What's up, Ten Top? How you doing, my dude? MJ Money, good evening. Gear evening. Gear evening, friends. Great evening. Okay. I'm seeing green in our futures. Yo, that should have me laughing, MJ Money. I was like, gear evening, gear evening. Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to like try to find a way to like incorporate that with what I talk about now. I think we will hold the 4.2 cent level. I just, I really thought we would hold the 4.9. I mean, if I look back right now, I would say that 4.9 is another good level. I mean, I'll draw out some real easy lines on this one. Whoops. So right now we're right here, and you can see we've already had several points in time where we've had resistance, support, resistance, bounce down. So we didn't really have too much support in this scenario, but whoops. So you would see some support here, which is basically where we're currently at. You would see some more support right about here at the whoops. That's not where I drew you. You would see more support right about here at the 4 cent level. Yeah, you got a little bit at the 4.2. I mean, that's like 2 candles worth, and I really just don't really count that so much. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, you could definitely call the 4.2, and then you would have it right here at 4. And that's kind of like the levels that we're looking at. But really, if you just go based on Fibonacci on this one, whoops, wrong. Okay, it's already on it. Yeah, you go Fib retrace on this one. And yeah, oops, go backwards. Let me do the opposite way one time. Boom. Yeah, I mean right here, yeah, we've already gone down below the 6.18. Yeah, I mean it's anyways, things don't look like the prettiest when it comes to that. I just don't think TA goes out the window when it comes to HEX right now because of PulseChain. There's nothing that can really be done. People are going to do what they want to. The coin no longer has the ability to move on its own for now. When PulseChain launches, it will in fact gain its own sentience again and become doing its own thing again, and that'll be a beautiful freaking day. But until that point in time, I just don't see it going anything above even 9 cents. So if you get a pump here, I mean, that's a good almost, heck, we're almost at the point in time where it's a good little 2x almost from here. So if it gets down to 4.5 in this range, that's a good 2x if it gets back up to 9. And that's pretty good money for a lot of people. So keep that in mind with what you're talking about. But yeah, I see that as well, facing reality. I can see the 4.2 for sure. They're just not too much. I mean, the overall liquidity position right now is kind of what I would end up looking at, and this is going to bring that 4.2 level. I think this could be what you're referring to as well. So there is a liquidity position around this 4.2 range, so a little bit more liquidity position in this range right here. And then if anything, it could drop all the way down to about 3.5. You know what I mean? So guys, I got limit orders going down, man. I told you before, man. 4.7, 4.2, 3.7, 3.2. It just have some fun, man. Set some limit orders. You never know which one's gonna hit, and if it hits, congrats, man. Like freaking awesome. That's so freaking cool. And if you don't have a big enough bag right now, then a good idea is typically to set limit orders pretty close to where the price is currently at. See, it's already gone below that. I already have to refresh because it's already gone below that. You see, we've actually dropped below this range now as well. So we're now here in this range, and really there's not too much within this range, right? We got 4.9 all the way to about 4.2. So if you set some at 4.7, 4.2, all this range, good little limit order range. Yeah. I mean, guys, you got to make a decision at one point in time, and you got to pull the trigger. And like you buy when other people are freaking scared to buy, right? And then you sell when people get fucking greedy and they think we're going to hit the moon. Like that's easy way of profit 101. There's a much better way of taking profits and a lot easier on your mind and mental state. But if you want to take profits, you buy when people are fucking scared, and then you sell when people are greedy. Easy. Just do the opposite of what everyone wants to do. So if everyone's like, dude, we're going down, we're never gonna hit the bottom, it's gonna be down, it's just gonna keep on going down, like that's when you fucking buy. You know what I mean? Like everyone's scared, cool, I'm buying. You know what I mean? Like that's it's simple as it is. And then when you start pumping up and we start seeing HEX here, 50 cents right in this range, they're gonna be like all-time high, even at 40 cents, all-time high. Maybe it's a good idea to start taking some profits, right? Maybe, just maybe. You got to make that determination for yourself. And at the end of the day, you click a button to either buy or sell. But if you buy when other people are scared, man, good rule of thumb right there for sure. Let me see what's going on here. What's up? What's up, Crypto T456? Love the name. Absolutely. Hex Freedom. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, all you beautiful people. What's good, everyone? My online goes, dude. Love the profile picture. That's funny. Hit that like and subscribe, fam. Much love, Daddy Hexler. Straight up. Listen to Daddy Hexler, boys and girls. Pac-Man says, I will get tons of PP coin, Pepe coin, copy at Pulse. Let's go. How is Pepe doing, man? How did it end up coming around? I just always like to see the little meme because, like, shit, people are able to make money, man. Go have that money being made, but that's cool. It's not something I want to be messing with at this time. Look at Pepe on an absolute tear. Congrats for Pepe. Yeah, I mean, this is Pepe right here, just looking beautiful. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not gonna try to get it. Like, no siree. I don't even think this is the best one. Where would I have a good one? Okay, that's a good one right there, I think. So this is like one of those when it first launched, and it did a lot of X's. I mean, heck, you can even see we're counting zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn, dude, too many fucking zeros. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So we had 3 zeros there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, so it's already gone up basically like a 220x plus at that point in time. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you just don't touch it though, right? Like if something goes and does this, you wait. You just fucking wait, man. Like Mm, not worth it, my friends. It's just not worth it's not worth it, man. But hey, if you go make some money on it and you're able to make some money, then you do you, boo. Like that's a beautiful thing. But like it's just not something I'm even gonna try to touch. So congrats to all the people who were able to make some money on that for sure. Keeping my stables to DCA and to Pulse and PulseX. There you go, okay, crypto. Tomorrow will Pulse launch. Yo. Yo, can you imagine? Yo, can you imagine if Richard Hart just hits it? My buddy and I were talking and he hit me with this. Can you imagine if Richard Hart tweets, "How's everybody's day going?" Oh my God. That is so fucking bullish. Like, that's one of the most bullish things I would hear in a long time. That would be so epic, my friends. Like, if he says, "How's everybody day going?" Dude, like, strap in because we about to fucking launch. And I think that could be the best way to do it sneakily. And just like, that's what he did for V3 when it was announced. He just said, "How's everybody's day going?" He launched V3. He came back and he said, "Now, how's everybody's day going?" Such a G thing to do. Can you imagine? Now, V4, he did launch silently. So I'm curious to see how it's all going to play out. I am very curious. What are your thoughts on the price of PHEX after 1 or 2 weeks? I think it goes high, man. I think you're going to have a lot of people who are of the mindset that I think you're going to have a lot of people who are of the mindset and opinion that that PHEX is the best play to go into for the future, not just for like the launch of Pulse or anything like that, but like for the future of HEX. And I think a lot of people are going to mess up the ratio trading in the beginning, or at least mess with ratio trading in the beginning. So when they come to find out the actual price of PulseChain, of HEX on PulseChain, when it comes out and the actual bridge comes in and you can see dollar values, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked that they either sold that much HEX for Pulse or that they sold any Pulse for HEX or anything. Like it's just going to be one of those crazy things. You're not going to make the best play no matter which way you go. And I could see HEX hitting 10 cents, like without knowing ratios or anything like that. And then when the bridge comes in, it's sitting at 10 cents, and then you can see it pump to maybe 20 cents or 30 cents. But I could see it happening where people are gonna not know good ratios. People aren't gonna have a good understanding. They're gonna trade one coin for another coin. It's all done through ratios in the beginning. So just be very careful and cautious. And yeah, at the time when everything ends up running out and happening, I think HEX on PulseChain is going to have a higher price personally than HEX on Ethereum because it'll take a dump when PulseChain launches. And I think a lot of people are allocating their HEX back into the PulseChain HEX. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely say like 10 cents, 20 cents. That's my guess. So who knows? Crypto CPT, not financial advice for sure, for sure. PX will go south also. Whales dumping it all. There you go. Okay, crypto. That's one way of looking at it too. And after launch, we will all have Pepe moments. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. After launch, everyone's just going to be looking at their freaking charts and just being like, wow. And just going to be, wow, the entire time. Wow. Like, oh, shit. Too funny, man. Well, guys, much love to all you beautiful people. I'm hopping off. I didn't realize, as late as it is and everything like that. But don't worry about it. We got another stream coming at you tomorrow. We're going to have a little hangout set stream. So if you actually want to come and join the stream, hop on with me, come chat, come make a face, come make a friend, come have some fun, come share your thoughts. We can discuss different things. Let's do that all tomorrow. Much love to every single one of you beautiful people. Shout out to y'all. Pulse Nation in the house. ATS Crypto's out. Have a fantastic evening, folks. And remember, stay calm and hex on.